what is HVAC? Is it just AC, like air conditioning, or there are more aspects to it?
Because everybody thinks that air conditioning is to make the room thanda, to make the room cool. But air conditioning is a very small part. From a switch of a button, you get that comfort. So rather having an oil heater or a heater or something, today when you design a premises, you have to make sure that you get good quality of air.
What is the key difference in terms of the technology?
Yeah.
This is a new thing.
Yeah.
You have inverter ACs.
Yes. So inverter AC doesn't mean that it works on your inverter. What was yesterday's 5-star has become a 3-star of today.
Okay.
Because they have made the standards more stringent. They want the AC to deliver more and consume less.
Hello and welcome to today's session on air conditioning. And today's podcast in my design journeys, I have a very special guest, Mr. Rajat Sethi. He's an HVAC consultant. And first of all, a very warm welcome to today's podcast.
Thank you very much, Manu, for inviting me. Thank you very much. Really looking forward to.
Thank you. So, can we begin by understanding what is HVAC? Is it just AC, like air conditioning, or there are more aspects to it?
That's a good question because everybody thinks that air conditioning is to make the room thanda, to make the room cool.
That's
But
true.
but air conditioning is a very small part of a four-letter word called HVAC, and HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Uh-huh.
So let's start with heating. Now, Delhi being in the northern side, where we get both the climates, we get cold and we get hot. So heating is very important for Delhiites, especially now. Though there is a change in the way the winters are. The winters have shifted away from November, December used to be cold, but now it's January which is cold. But January is so cold now that you need heating. A lot of people can't bear the heat. So rather than having different devices in your house, why not have a system which takes care of your cooling and heating from the same device? So what happens in cooling and heating is that you have a solenoid valve which reverses the direction of the gas, and your indoor unit becomes the heating unit and the outdoor becomes the cooling unit.
Oh.
So from a switch of a button, you get that comfort. So rather having an oil heater or a heater or something, you can use heater, and companies have now introduced various models in heating. Even in non-VRF category, you're getting split ACs with heating, and ACs, VRF ACs are coming with heating and cooling. So today you have a choice of having heating cooling. Then you come to the next important aspect is the ventilation, and that is the air quality of your room. That is a very important part of HVAC today. In the last few years we had COVID, which has shaken us up, and before that and after that we are facing a very difficult situation in Delhi, and that is the AQI. Now, what does ventilation do? What is why is air quality very important for us? I'll give you a very small example. If there are 10 people sitting in a conference room and with a split AC working, all smoking, there is a saying that probably all of them will die within 2 days, because what they're doing is they're consuming the same air and they're taking the nicotine inside, because there is no fresh air coming in.
So ventilation and air changes, जो हम technical भाषा में air change बोलते हैं,
Yeah.
जो कि like an exchange of the indoor air with the outdoor air. That is ventilation.
That is a part of ventilation. What I'm talking about, ventilation is also exhausting foul air from your bathrooms. But what I'm talking, ventilation is purely on the point of good air quality that you get inside your house. So today when you design a premises, you have to make sure that you get good quality of air. And there are changes, because if you keep consuming the same air, then you're consuming your carbon monoxide.
Yeah, so I have another point there.
Yeah.
It's a very valid point that you raised.
Sure,
Actually, we have touched upon 2-3 pointers
Yeah.
within this answer,
Correct.
which will have further questions.
Yes.
So the first thing is you are repeatedly talking about VRF, right?
Mm-hmm.
Normally, people don't and in my practice, what I've seen,
Mhm.
people don't really know what is VRF, what is VRV, or
Mhm.
what is split, what is window. Okay, split and window, most people know what it
Mhm.
is. And
Mhm.
then when we say ductable splits,
Mhm.
so what is the key difference in terms of the technology,
Mhm.
and which pros and cons, very in a very nutshell, according to you?
Okay, VRF simply put is a centralized split system
Mm-hmm.
in which you have one outdoor connected to multiple indoor units.
Okay.
Now, let's go to pro of VRF. One, you have one outdoor, which means you as an architect have nightmares to manage outdoors when you and
Yeah.
get a good get a good exterior
Yeah.
because the outdoors look
So
ugly.
space taken by the outdoor units is one of
It
the
can, because you can do a piping up to 100 to 150 meters
Mm.
from your indoor to the outdoor, which
in
means
VRF.
in VRF.
Vis-a-vis split.
Split, we have a limitation that we should not go beyond 5 meters, and if
Uh-huh.
you stretch yourself, go to 10 meters.
Mm.
But again, in 10 meters, you will come to the building facade,
Mm.
and then again you have to manage these outdoors, which
Yeah.
probably will spoil the facade of your house. Here you're going to 150 meters,
Mm.
and you can put the outdoors
Yeah.
on your terrace
Yeah.
away from
Without impacting
without
the
impacting
efficiency of the
your
machine.
without. Second, VRF may you have the choice of having different type of indoor units as per your interior design.
Mm-hmm.
In say in one interior space of the same premises, you want a cassette,
Mm.
and the other you want a grill look, in the other you want a split look, other
Mm.
you want a floor mounted
Mm.
unit. So there you can have different units as per your requirement, purely on the basis of your interior design. Third, VRF, what is basically VRF? It is variable refrigerant flow system. The variable refrigerant flow changes as per the requirement.
Mm.
You have an inverter compressor. The question, what is an inverter compressor?
Yeah, this is a new thing.
Yeah.
You have inverter ACs.
Yes. So inverter AC doesn't mean that it works on your inverter.
हाँ.
It doesn't. It is not that it, जो आप घर पे inverter रखते हैं उस पे inverter चलेगा. No, the inverter AC basically is a compressor which has ability to change its capacity
Mm.
as per the requirement inside your house. For
Okay.
example, you bought a AC and you have taken a capacity of 2 tons
Mm.
for your room, but you are using it in the month of October.
Mm.
Now you don't need 2 tons at that time.
Correct.
So the AC, the indoor unit, through the PCB communicates with the outdoor unit and says, no, I don't want 2 tons of gas coming into my system.
Mm.
I'm okay with 0.5
Right.
because I need only 0.5 to cool in the month of October.
So that helps with electrical
Electrical
efficiency or with the gas, just the amount of gas that flows in.
Because the compressor is working at 25% of
Mm.
its efficiency,
Mm.
which means it is only taking 25% of power.
Mm.
When you take a the normal AC,
Mm.
where the compressor is a fixed capacity,
Yeah.
then you can keep your thermostat at say a higher level,
Mm.
say at 25. The compressor will cut off. That's the time when you're saving on power.
Yeah.
When it kicks back, the power consumption starts again. And if you're a person who believes in taking a quilt and running an AC,
Yeah.
you will have a nightmare in your power bills, because what happens is the compressor is not cutting off, and that's a guzzler. I mean, it takes power consumption, so
Yeah.
your power bills will go up. In VRF,
But then
you don't have the
But you can always set a higher temperature,
You can
even
say,
in
but-
a split.
but you may be a person who wants very high cooling, and your husband may need less cooling. So you will always keep debating what is the right temperature. You can take a quilt with the AC, but that means at 18 degrees when you set the thermostat, the compressor will keep on functioning.
Mm.
It will not stop, and that's where the gas. But in VRF,
Mm.
you set your temperature in such a way that the indoor unit, outdoor unit communicate with each other,
Yeah.
and give you that kind of gas inside the system.
So the other thing that I would, taking your point further, is that technically when you have 10 machines, 10 outdoors, no sorry, 10 indoors attached with one outdoor, then let's say one is running on 20 degrees, the other is running on 16 degrees, and the third one is at 25 degrees. Then the others are off, they're
Right.
not working.
Right.
So then the communication between the indoors and the outdoors is such that the refrigerant is flowed efficiently to the machines where it is running, and the load which is off, which is not running, is not
It's not
sort
take-
of
it's not-
taken
you
from
got
the
it-
machine.
You just got it right.
Yeah.
Because even if you put a unit of 30 tons outside,
Yeah.
and if you're only consuming 5 tons, your compressor will work at 5 ton capacity.
Yeah.
It is not it has a DC motor which reduces its functioning and bring it down to 5 tons.
Okay.
And once you increase, supposing more people are coming in some rooms, then it will
Automatically.
automatically
Oh.
increase its capacity.
So vis-a-vis in splits, normally we've seen there's a stop start, right? So in the room, if there's a split machine and then the temperature is reached, then there is a stop.
It stops.
And
The
then
compressor stops.
and then when the temperature is again higher, then it starts again.
Correct.
So the stop start, I think, also consumes more electricity.
It does, because when the AC starts, initial current is 2.5 times, but it is only for a split of a second, and then it comes back to its normal thing. Okay. And that's the time when your power bill is going up.
So within the split machine unit, the inverter split is smarter.
It is technically smarter, and down the years, I think the fixed speed compressors will be phased out, and you will only get inverter compressors, because
that's the way to
it will give you efficiency in power. So you will get, you're getting in VRF, you are getting inverter compressors, and now even in non VRF machines you're getting inverter compressors. Your next question will come is star ratings, because
yes, it's actually a very genuine question, because and then who gives the ratings, and then is it just the hoax कि आपके वहाँ स्टिकर लगे हुए हैं 4 स्टार है 5 स्टार है machine? Who gives the ratings? What parameters do they take care of? And should, as a customer, one should even be thinking about these things. 4 star 5 star दोनों अच्छे हैं क्या? मतलब what is it that one should be looking at?
See, coming to your first question, is the Bureau of Energy Standards who gives the star ratings, and they are doing a pretty good job, because they keep changing the parameters year by year, forcing the companies to look inwards and make efficient machines. Okay. So what was yesterday's 5 star has become a 3 star of today. Okay. Because they have made the standards more stringent. They want the AC to deliver more and consume less. There are a lot of ACs that have been, that the companies, I won't name the companies right now, whose products are not coming in the market because they are not matching the standards set by. Now,
so there's ISHRAE and there is ASHRAE, right?
That is ISHRAE. ASHRAE is the air conditioning fraternity, but Bureau of Energy Standards is people who are checking the functioning of the manufacturers in India, and the companies are made to make ACs which deliver more cooling, deliver more humidity control, and they should be consuming less power. So
it's only power, because as far as I know, the refrigerants are also ozone damaging, right? And that has been one of the critiques of the air conditioning industry, that buildings, and when we talk about green buildings and sustainability, the real sustainability lies in actually not air conditioning the space. But we're living in a time where everybody wants air conditioned spaces. So I think a good energy efficient machine or a good star rating should also take care of that the refrigerant should be environment friendly. So has the refrigerant also changed over the years?
Yes, they have changed from to hydrocarbon based refrigerants now, because they are all green gases. So they are less harmful to the environment. Okay. And all the those gases like R22, they have been phased out, and now
so one doesn't have to feel guilty about
one
putting
doesn't. But you should feel guilty for the air conditioning contractor who will be using the gas once the gas leaks. So you should
so gas leaks should not happen in the first place.
Well, now
they're not good for the environment.
They're not good for the environment, but you have places like Noida and Dwarka, where there is sulfur content, and which creates
that's a very unique kind of a situation that even we have seen, because there are certain sectors in Noida and even in Delhi. So basically, it is not to do with Noida or Delhi, but a place where there's a nala running, or so there is some kind of a sulfur content in the air, which oxidizes with the copper pipe, and it turns into copper sulfate or whatever. The joints open up, and the gases leak. Now, just yesterday, I was having a discussion with a client, and this is exactly the topic that we were discussing. So they were asking that what are the solutions, and I know that in some of our projects you have got some kind of a coating done which can delay this process. Of course, it is not a foolproof process, I understand. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, places like Noida just got it right, where there is a nala, where there is stagnant water. So there is sulfur fumes which are emanating from them, and people who are staying near that nala have this problem of the sulfur attacking their air conditioning system. It is not that it attacks all the ACs have a problem. Maybe there's a, you could say 30% of the ACs have a problem where the coil, indoor or the outdoor coils, where there are multiple joints, the sulfur touches those joints and the joints open up. So there are multiple leakages, and there is no way one can tackle that kind of a problem. And especially when you talk about a VRF system, where you have a centralized system and which attacks the outdoor unit or the indoor unit, then the outdoor unit, then the whole system gets paralyzed. So one has to be careful. Yes, we have system solutions like putting coating on the copper so that they don't have a direct impact with the atmosphere.
But doesn't that hamper with the heat exchange?
No, those though they let the heat exchange happen, but there is no direct touch of the air outside which has got sulfur with the copper. And but there has not been yet, which is so surprising, that we have the top 500 fortune companies operating in India, and they have not been able to come up with a solution where they can make a copper which can resist air of that kind. And that is something that kind of puzzles,
Sulfur resistant copper.
kind of puzzles, because I don't think so it will be that difficult a job to make a air conditioner that can, because that can somehow not get hampered by the sulfur outside. So I hope these air conditioning companies are doing wonders. They are making good products now.
I'm
They
sure it is something that will evolve.
evolve
It,
over
it
time.
must be a regional issue and not
Yes,
really
yes.
that much of a, when you have demand
Yeah,
of that kind, and
yeah,
that's when solutions
yeah.
happen.